Hello, hello.
Um, Tonight it might be pretty much only Gigi. As you can tell, I'm holding an ice bag on my neck, but I'm not important. You guys are important. And so I'm going to let Gigi run the show tonight. And so Gigi, when I don't have any questions right away, what I
Okay.
do is um, make up crap.
Make stuff.
I do. I just kind of make up anything. What I like, okay, is
Right.
Trump in the hospital yet? Is he leaving, or or whatever interests you? Like down there in Texas. Hi, Julianne.
Hey, Jags.
Hey,
So,
I'm not going to be on all night. As you see, I got an ice bag on my neck, but I'm going to be here. I'm just going to be hiding, and I'm going to be helping Gigi. And if we can share and help her get some donations tonight, if everybody donated $1,
hi, Teresa.
so
Hi,
I'll let
Kendra.
you explain and I'll go hide because the questions will start coming in and I want to be ready for you.
Right.
Okay. I'm just hiding. I'm here.
Jags, that's what happened to you, Denise. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Kendra. Hey, Jags. So, um, if you have any questions, just drop them down below. I know she said she's having some trouble with her neck. So
I'll come back for a minute. What
okay.
happened is I've been working a lot doing tarot readings and shows. Uh-oh. Do I have something else on? I got feedback somehow.
Uh-oh, do
I
you want me to mute while you're talking?
I don't know why it's doing that. We never had that problem before. Anyhow, let me go back to it. Anyhow, I've been working a lot, doing a lot of and bending my head down. I have degenerative neck disease. That's what happens when you get old and you do stupid jobs and do stupid stuff. So anyhow, I'm gonna hide in the background just to help. All right, bye.
All right, questions in caps. Yeah, that's helpful so I can see them. So I hope everyone's doing good today. I am using the Oracle of Destiny deck. I may switch to other decks depending on questions or whatever. Ooh, your hips. Ouch. That sounds painful. That's why I feel your dizziness. Yeah, it was hit me pretty hard. Yes, send healing energy to Denise. So if everyone just wants to take a moment and send some healing energy to Denise, uh, we can do that right quick. I think that's what my mom has too, and she has to have surgery in August. So, or something about uh, narrowing of the discs or something like that in her neck. I can't remember 100% off the top of my head. Hot cricket. Yeah, I feel like I'm a Rice Krispie treat. I snap, crackle, and pop a lot when I move. Prayers for Texas. Yes. How is everyone doing? You doing all right today? Yeah, my mom's to the point like in order to move her neck, she has to like move her shoulder and everything. So that's why she's about to have surgery on hers. I'm glad Denise is, taking care of herself and doing what she needs to do for her neck. I know sometimes it's hard to, yeah, I do have PayPal. Hang on. I'll have to look it up because I don't know it off the top of my head. So give me just a second. It'd be nice if I could just spit it out.
Gigi,
Yes.
can you text it to me and I'll put it in the chat?
Okay, hang on just a second.
Just go ahead and text it to me, or have your hubby.
And then I have to make sure I spelled it right. Ah. When we get of a certain age, some parts just start breaking down. Lord, ain't that the truth? Wake up and be like, oh, something new is popping today. I know it takes me a little while to get going, like in the morning. Like I need at least an hour or two to be able to get mobile. If anybody wants a card, or if you don't have a question and you just like a card, this deck kind of deals with it's like palm reading in a deck, so it's a pretty interesting a deck. So my great, let's see, she was my grandma's aunt, so that would make her what, my great great aunt. She did palm readings for people. I unfortunately I never got one done. By the time I came around, she was like in her 80s. So, all right, Teresa, let's see what is in store for you here. So this deck kind of makes me feel close to her when I use it. So, all right. Ooh, we got bracelet coming in for you. So I really like the if I can get the word artistry, I guess is how you say that, on this deck. So bracelet, let's see, bracelet. Now I just have to find it in the book. I wish they were in alphabetical order because that would make it a lot easier, but okay, so bracelet is the wrist here. So it says the bracelet is a line drawn where the hand encounters the wrist. There can also be 2 or 3 lines. They represent health, luck, and happiness, 3 elements that are rather elusive and difficult to retain. For that reason, when all 3 are present together and well defined, they are also called the regal bracelet, indicating exceptional dynamism and protection towards success. When a cross is found there, one can hope that all their efforts will be richly rewarded. Each line of the bracelet is also called, oh my goodness, not sure how to say that, Rashetta, Rascetta. I'm not sure what that is, and can provide information about the organs of the abdomen. So, if you've been feeling, sick to your stomach, or having any issues in that area, it's telling you that it is time to trust in the circles of magical protection that can come to our rescue as a gift. Not everything depends on our will and action, but everything relates to the way we welcome what comes our way. On our wrist, a bracelet tinkles magically invisible, carefully guarding the hidden parts of you. So I almost feel like I heard like having something hidden up your sleeve there as well for you, Teresa. Thank you so much. I didn't see if there were any other questions. I was busy reading. So, oh, you have colitis. Okay. Well, that makes some sense there for why that would come up. So, look at your wrists and see, how many rings around your wrists there, or if you have a cross. Everything has meaning, right? All right. Jags will have a question or 2 or 3. Love it, love it, love it. All right. I see Kendra would like a card as well. Kendra, for you, I got chains coming in. All right, chains. Let's see. Chain, chain, chain. I started hearing that saying, chain of fools. That old song there. All right, let's see. Chains. All right, so chains is the aspect of the hand or these three spots here. The lines on the wrist mean, hold on just a second. Let me go back to that. Um, there can also be two or three lines. They represent health, luck, and happiness. So, depending on how many rings you would have on your wrist. All right, so chains. Any line can look like chains, making it irregular and poorly defined, visually similar to a chain. In general, they indicate that aspect of life will not be experienced linearly. We will face indecisions, obstacles, setbacks, and struggles. On the headline, it means uncertain ideas and fickle memory. So if you're having trouble making up your mind, or like your memory isn't all that great. On the heart line, it is a warning that says to learn to follow your heart more. So, learning to follow your heart, and I feel like you really have to be in tune with your star player here, and really listening to your intuition. So, something binds us, preventing us from going more deeply and freely into what we are experiencing. So maybe you're just at the like surface of things. You haven't gone deeper just yet. So perhaps we're not following our hearts. Maybe we are letting our minds get confused. Maybe we make impulsive decisions that we regret. It is time to free yourself from your chains. So anything that holds you back or hinders you in any way, shape, or form, and with fickle memories, when we think of a fickle person, they're like yes, no, I feel like sometimes when we look back on things, we may not always see them as they were. We may either paint them in a better light or a worse light. I feel like that happens sometimes. I know for me sometimes that happens. Palm and singing over here in chat. Yeah. With me, a lot of times messages will come through in song for me as well. So my maiden name is Palm. I love that. Signs and synchronicities here, you guys. So, sometimes we paint our memories in a better light than they actually were, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that necessarily. I mean, if we're going to have happy memories, we may as well make them as happy as possible, right? You will have a question or two or three. Hey, that's perfectly okay. Let's see. I am indecisive but have a great memory. So my long-term memory is still pretty good, but my short-term memory is not that great since I've had strokes. But sometimes I struggle, especially if I have a dream or something, and the dream is like trying to convince me something's happened, and I'm like, I don't think that did, but then it feels like it's a memory instead of a dream. I don't know if that makes sense or if anyone else does that, but I definitely do from time to time. All right. Well, Jags, do you want me to pull a card for you while you're thinking? Oh, come up this week. My dreams are so weird and vivid. I wish I could make. Oh yeah, I definitely have very weird dreams too. So I totally get that. And then I wake up sometimes and I'm like, I feel like I dreamed something, but then I'm not sure because I don't remember any of them. All right, you have Jags. You have Loop coming in here, and the guy looks like he has is a sailor. to me. So out on the seas, maybe water is very calming, soothing, healing for you. Maybe you feel better when you're around water. Let's see, loop. So aspect of the hand are your fingertips and the tip of your thumb as well. So the loop is the type of fingerprint that is most commonly found. As the name indicates, it can be described as a line folded back on itself to form a kind of narrow noose. Sometimes it is found on the finger of Apollo, your ring finger, only very rarely on the finger of Saturn, which is your middle finger. When it is present on all fingers, it signifies perceptiveness, a mild but strong willed temperament, and a tendency to be cold in judgment and harsh when dealing with business. It can also indicate an inclination for melancholy. The noose can ensnare and draw in like a thrown lasso. Trust in your more solid side, the one that tells you what is right and wrong, that makes you choose without too much doubt, that makes you immediately intuit when position is most consistent with your nature or the needs of that moment. Trust also in the fact that you can listen to your gentler, more somber side without ending up in a trap. So, sometimes I think, in this world, we feel like we have to be more masculine, more harsh in order to get things done. And then we forget, hey, our feminine side is receptive. That's where we welcome things in, the blessings and all of that. So, make sure you're embracing both sides of yourself, tapping into your divine masculine and divine feminine to bring about balance and harmony for yourself. The association with the brain. Oh, okay. You're welcome, Kendra. Thank you for your question. Being feminine, yes, we often forget that our feminine side. I kind of think it's even more powerful than the masculine side at times. I mean, women are a lot tougher than we've been given credit for. I think. Let's see. Is Carl next? Okay, let's see. Do my guides still see me keeping my place tomorrow or not? Will money come today or tomorrow at the last minute from Oliver for the job? And will this deal on Monday push through so I'll have money to pay? Hi, Carl. I thank you. I did some reflexology and cranial sacral massage school and practice. Oh, that sounds amazing. I went through the course to get Reiki certified, and it was right before I had the stroke. So some of it I don't remember right away, if that makes sense, because it was during that time. But all right. Oh, you can't sleep. Oh, dang, Carl. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'm going to ask Ostra here. Do your guides still see me keeping my place? So Ostra is saying yes. All right. Will money come today? I am getting no for today. Or will it be tomorrow at the last minute? Yes. Okay. Isn't that the way things go? You're going to be so stressed out, and then it's going to come in at that last minute, like right before something is going to happen. But will this deal on Monday push through so I'll have money to pay? I am getting a yes. And I know that this has you so not just stressed out, but frustrated and almost like I feel a little bit of sadness too. Um, Heartbreaking is the word, as well, because you've been putting in all of this work, you have been putting in all of this effort, and the people on the other end are holding up progress. So you will get paid. Yeah, it's going to be a little tight, it's going to be a little tough, and even knowing that it's going to come in at the last minute is still stressful, and still like, come on people, I need to get paid, just like you need to get paid. You deserve. Very sad for your cats. Oh no. It's only a room I'm moving out to. Hi, Ellen. Whether I will succeed in getting an Irish passport. All right. Will Ellen be able to get an Irish passport? Ostra is saying yes here. So there's a chance I can stay for Carl. Hang on just a second. Ostra is definitely saying yes, that there is a chance. And this is a big, big yes here. So, like I said, it's going to be like the last minute that payments are going to come in. It feels like, and like I said, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, when we were talking about your landlord, how it feels like there are things going on like behind the scenes and everything. So, I mean, I know you don't want to move, but you may have to prepare yourself for moving eventually, because it feels like if he gets a good deal or something, he'll sell it. That's what's coming through here for me. Hi, Ellen. Oh, you're welcome. Let me see if prayers for Texas. And if anyone wants one of the Oracle of Destiny, go ahead and let me know as well, and I'll go ahead and pull one of those cards for you. Yeah, it's really sad that they're waiting for the last minute to get you your money, and I would definitely not like that. Are my childhood memories that I need to remember have to do with the actual ocean? Ooh. All right, let me see what comes through. I definitely feel like the ocean calls to you. And I heard Easter Islands. I don't know if that has ever come up for you. Yeah, Denise isn't feeling very well today. Her neck is acting up, so she's having to ice it. So maybe it will start feeling better. I kind of just got a flash here, Jax, of like, have you ever watched the movie Troy, where they're standing in, like, Troy is standing in the ocean with his mother, like that type, the how the water looked like. Maybe that time period may call to you as well. I just got a flash of that for some reason, but I feel like the ocean will always call to you in each lifetime. So yeah, Denise is lurking. And any dream or anywhere that you feel drawn to, I have done guided meditations before. You can look on YouTube, and when I feel drawn to a certain place or a certain time period, I will do like a guided meditation to kind of take me back to that time. I've gone clear back to Egypt before, so I feel like wherever you feel led is for a reason. Don't feel a connection to the ocean at all. Okay, so for this lifetime, okay. It is, let me see. For this lifetime, I'm hearing disconnected. So, maybe in this lifetime, you're disconnected from feeling, drawn to the ocean. But, it can decide that it wants to come back at any time. So, let me see what else is coming through here. Because sometimes things come up at a certain time, a certain season, when we need it to the most. And you have a difficult time with meditation. Sometimes I do too. And if I start the meditation and I can't get into it, then I don't force myself to try to keep going, because it'll just leave me frustrated if I do that. So let's see. You're welcome, Carl. Sending you so much love, light, and positive energy. That these people are gonna, pay you and pay you well for the work that you have done, and that is going to come in and be more than enough for everything that you have to do. You're welcome, Jags. Like I said, for a time when maybe you felt really, really connected to the ocean and, almost like Moana, that type of connection. But now in this lifetime, you may feel a little disconnected from it. So, but the thing about tapping into elements is that we can do it at any time, and we can make it as simple or as complex as we want it to be. So, and I say never force anything. If you're not feeling it, then you're not feeling it, but yeah, Easter Islands came up for some reason. So I think that's how you say it. Words be hard sometimes. And I think, Jags, was it you that last night the song Fancy came up for? I'm trying to remember back. Sometimes my memory isn't that great. I like the Reba version, and the music video at the time. That's when people were putting out like movie type music videos. But basically the premise is they were very poor, and the mother knew she was going to die and that the welfare people were going to come and take the baby. So she told Fancy she was putting her out on the street, and people try to make Fancy feel bad, and she didn't feel bad. She decided to do good with the money she made. So sometimes we're put into situations that we wouldn't want to be put in, but it's kind of what we decide to do with it. It might not have been you. It may have been someone else. I could be getting people mixed up. So, like I said, my short-term memory isn't as great as it used to be, and I am still feeling a little bit of dizziness with you. Not as bad as it was last night. So, hopefully it keeps getting better. So let's see. Also, Jags, with you, from what I'm seeing, is like people flying over the ocean and like in an airplane or something, you know. I feel like it's wartime, uh, possibly World War I, World War II, and like crossing. I don't know exactly the significance of that, but like going back and forth, I'm not quite sure. Uh, it's just a little flash there, so I didn't get like the full story or anything like that. But yeah, I'm glad Denise is icing her neck. A pain in the neck is never fun. Is this time travel? It very well could be time travel, because I feel like it's almost like two different times, but going the same direction, like back and forth. Denise said a new love or old one was coming in. My husband was nice to us, my daughter and I. Is he really trying? Ooh, okay. Where did I put? Is it a new love? Is it a new love? I'm getting no. An old love? Yes. Nice to us. Is he really trying? Also getting a yes for really really trying. So, and it's really swinging here. So I feel like he's really really trying hard. Um, Wants to change. Maybe not fully sure how to do it. So, encouragement, you know, to keep trying and recognizing when, you know, he is trying and putting forth the effort. You know, I'm hearing reconciliation here as well. So, you know, you also get to choose, though, if you want to accept and allow this person back in. We live in different houses 5 miles away. And, you know, sometimes distance is good for people. You know, sometimes, you know, you live together a while or whatever, and, you know, you can get on each other's nerves. That happens. I feel like there's a lot of stress and a lot of tension around him. Like he feels like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And, you know, I think he lets things get to him and bother him, but also it's like it builds up until he explodes. You know, and once you let things build and build and build, and then, you know, it's like, oh, you're exploding over nothing. But, you know, it's because he's let all of that pressure build up. So like having a good outlet to, you know, get those emotions out, I think would be really healthy for him. You know, we all need some kind of hobby or something we can do to, you know, balance work and play and bring a little peace and harmony in. So, do you want to know if you guys will ever move in together, or let me make sure. Kendra, will my youngest son, he's autistic, be able to start ABA therapy soon, or should I put him back in regular public school in the fall? Will he be able to start ABA therapy soon? I am getting a yes for that. So, and I think that would be really great for him. I think it would be better for him, in the long run is what I'm getting there as well. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully you get the uh, that he's accepted. So that's good. That's what you're hoping for, honestly. And you know what? Keep telling the universe, keep asking the universe, this is what I want for my son, for him to be accepted into this program. We can claim those things for ourselves and for those that we love. You get along better when you live apart. Yeah, I really feel like that. And I feel like even if things um, don't necessarily turn romantic or stay romantic, you're meant to be in each other's lives. And even if it's just as really good friends that really love and support one another, that sort of thing. I have requests. My daughter that passed, her daughter who was adopted at 6 years old, reached out to me on 4th of July. Is she doing well mentally? I'm getting a no, but I also want to say it feels weird. Uh, I'm gonna try to figure out how to explain this in a way. Um, it feels like the wheels are constantly turning, constantly spinning. So maybe she isn't getting enough rest as well. And, sometimes when the wheels start spinning, we just accept any and all thoughts that we have. We don't turn around and question them, or why am I thinking that, or something along those lines. But I feel like she's reaching out to you from a place of love, and epileptic and has dizzy spells. And I feel like that can really affect your mental health, your mental capacity. And I feel like it feels like there's always something constantly going on, and some thoughts are louder than others. And sometimes our mind will try to convince us of things that aren't true, or maybe we don't remember them exactly as they were. Like your mind playing tricks on you a little bit is what I feel like she has going on. But I also feel like she has a lot of love, but I also feel a lot of sadness. And I mean, I know losing your mother. Oh my goodness, I am so grateful and thankful my mama is still here. I almost lost her when I was 11. So I, ooh, and I feel like internally she blames herself for a lot of things, whether things were her fault or not. I think sometimes maybe her mind tries to convince her of things, and I feel like she has to work extra hard to overcome what her brain tries to tell her. Sometimes she was adopted. Well, I'm glad that she was adopted into a loving family. And I feel like that's why I say I feel like she has a lot of love inside. And I feel like, growing up, I didn't know my dad. Like, I knew who he was, but I didn't know him. I didn't have a relationship with him. And my mom always told me it was up to me, if I wanted to find him, or, but she never spoke bad of him or anything like that. And she kind of just left it up to me. And for a long time, I was like, no, I don't want nothing to do with him. He hasn't been around. You've been my mom and my dad my whole life, and part of me did that because I didn't want my mom to feel bad. I hope that makes sense. How kid logic can be. But I did reach out because once I got married and I wanted to have children, I wanted to know like the health history of that side of the family. Oh, her memories are not good. Yeah, that's what I feel. And I feel like some days it's harder for her to overcome the the bad thoughts or the bad memories, and or what she actually does remember. So I kind of get like the Nine of Swords energy with her, like nightmare playing on repeat when it comes to certain things, certain memories as well. So, but I feel like she is genuinely curious and genuinely interested, and I don't feel like any animosity or any ill will or trying to create, chaos or anything like that. I don't get any bad feelings about it. I just genuinely, I am getting tongue tied tonight. Feel like, she wants to know, her family's history, or when it, especially when it comes to health. I had to get a drink. Sorry about that. But you're welcome, Denise. And, praying that her health gets better as well. So, you know, because it does feel like blockages. And I'm rubbing across my forehead here. So I don't know if that's where she has a lot of pain, or, but like clear across the forehead is where I'm feeling. Her mom had health issues, yeah. Will my daughter get any better with her health? Let's see. Um, I'm gonna say it's a maybe here with Ostra. Usually, when she spins around, it's unclear or unknown. We're not meant to know if it's. I feel like it's gonna be kind of like she'll get better and then she won't. I feel like it's kind of like that. Like she will have moments where she feels better, and then moments where she feels worse. Or I kind of am getting a pain here on the left side. I don't know if it's female issues, but kind of in that sort of area of the body. And will she find love? I am getting a yes here, and I feel like it's something she worries about or something she's afraid about, like it won't happen for her because of her health. Like people say, well, who's going to want me if I'm sick all the time, or but someone will, and I feel like when we say vows, in sickness and health, I'm a person, I take them very, very seriously. So I feel like she's going to have her good days and her not so good days. And I kind of feel like that's maybe where she is now. And, it's kind of like go a step forward and then take two steps back kind of thing. And I feel like she needs to really balance, of course we all need balance, right? But, on the days where her body is telling her to rest, to make sure that she does, so that she won't be down longer than she would have been, uh, you know, if she had rested. So let's see. I think I missed one. Hold on. What do you feel regarding the vibration around Christmas 2025? All right, let me see if I can tap into the vibe around. I feel a lot of happiness, but also like a nervousness behind the happiness, like joy at, being able to get together and seeing the ones that you love, but still some nervousness around perhaps not knowing what to fully expect coming in, and something last minute. uh Maybe it's someone showing up last minute. Maybe they thought they wouldn't be able to come, and then they're able to come. So, I feel a lot of joy around it, like the going into it, the planning, the preparing, and that sort of thing. But also some anxiety, some nervousness, and I feel like it's like I don't want to get my hopes up and then be disappointed, kind of feeling coming in as well. But overall, it's mostly positive, and, you know, be prepared for surprise, I feel like, as well. Let me see if I missed anything. But definitely, like, the higher your vibe, when you raise your vibration, you raise the vibration of the room around you, of other people, as well. Endometriosis. I may have missed something. Am I going to have better help and support going through getting diagnosis and treatment? Let's see. It is yes, but I also feel like you're really going to have to advocate for yourself, especially, because sometimes it seems like doctors don't want to listen, or that sort of thing. So I feel like you're really going to have to advocate for yourself and keep, um, looking things up as well, and asking, the questions, doing your research, because sometimes doctors think they know it all, and then they don't want to listen to people. So I have definitely had to advocate for my own self over the years. Oh, this past's not doing anything. They have to do something now. Okay. So yeah, I feel like you really need, um, and you may have to get pushy with them. Like, look, uh, we need to do something. We need to figure out what's going on here, and get something going. And I mean, I hate to be that way with people sometimes, but sometimes that's the only way to get your point across too, and make them really sit up and take notice. Like, you're not just going to send me away with more questions than I have answers. And yeah, tell them your symptoms are worse than they are. I'd even be like, it's affecting my overall health. It's affecting my mental health, emotional health, like, because it all works together. And I hope I'm not missing anybody. I'm not trying to. Let me go up here and see. She has, oh, endometriosis. I have that, and PCOS as well. So I don't have to, yeah, you don't have to exaggerate at all. Yeah, the pain is real. Pain is off the charts. And, that's just one of the symptoms. But I mean, the pain alone is, you know, you get that mind numbing pain where you can't even think straight. And, like I said, I feel the dizzy. The pain gets so much you feel like you're going to pass out type of thing. Maybe you have passed out at times or like, just for a second. Have a hard time advocating. Yeah, there are times where I have really had a hard time standing up and advocating for myself, especially when it comes to women's issues, because I was seeing a specialist in my 20s and I left with way more questions than I did answers. And, uh, you know, and then I was finally diagnosed in my 30s with PCOS and endometriosis. And even then, most doctors don't know or they don't take the time to learn um, about things that affect women. Jags, have you had where it was a procedure they were going to do on me at one time where they drill into your ovary or ovaries, I should say. At the time, I only had one. So, yeah, here now in Oklahoma, because of the opioid pandemic, they like even to get, oh, I forget what it was called now, but it's barely even uh, that strong, but you have to go to pain management now in order to be able to get anything for pain at all. Even Tylenol 3, uh, they were like, you got to go to pain management. And I was like, wow, okay. I break stuff and don't realize I break bones. Pain isn't bad to me. I've broken my toes. I am not the one with endometriosis. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was you or if it was. I'm probably getting people mixed up. I apologize. I'm trying to follow and pay attention. So sad here in South Carolina. If you have a miscarriage, they can say you caused it. Oh, yeah. I don't like that at all. Like miscarriages. I've had a few. So I mean, the toll it takes uh on you, and then to feel like you have to be worried, about being accused of something like that. That's heartbreaking as well. Oh, hi, Denise. She's back, people.
My washcloth thawed out.
Oh no.
This
Are
is
you
what I
feeling
do.
any better?
Well, yeah, the ice reduced the swelling.
Yeah.
Uh, but so what I did is I'll throw it back in the freezer. And it's really great because you can shape it around your.
Right.
My friend Nancy taught me this. Yeah, I do, Kendra, have high pain tolerance. I just never knew it. That's probably when I took ass whippings as a child from my mother. I never, you know, it's probably what's wrong with my back and my neck and my joints. And but
Oh, I remember bend over the bathtub, boy.
yeah,
I'm gonna get a whooping. I remember them days. You're welcome, Jags. I'm sorry if I'm getting people mixed up. It's not on purpose.
I wish I could make our pictures bigger on here. I'd like to have them about this big, but right
Right.
now it's only about this big. It's just little
Right.
tiny.
Make
But
it
when we're
bigger.
watching, but when I watch other shows, they're good size.
Right.
But when
Like,
we're doing
what are you doing? What's your secrets, people?
that's why I need caps.
Me too. And then,
Yeah,
I kind
hey,
of
hey,
get mixed
doctor,
up.
how I found out I had a high pain tolerance was I had shoulder surgery, and it normally takes 2 to 3 weeks before you can sleep in a bed. And I really didn't know that. I did it after 2 days. Um, my friend Nancy, she's the best friend. Now, everybody should have a friend like Nancy
Thank
because,
you, Teresa.
because,
Thank you, guys.
yeah. You are doing. I love what you great. You're great. You have a good presence. You
I
and you
try,
and you tell a great story. And that's what to me tarot reading and the oracle reading is. We're reading a story,
Mm-hmm.
and we're using the help of our guides, because like all of a sudden a word pops in or something. It's like, okay, this
Right.
is what to do with this. So, but
I
I
have
want.
songs that pop in all the time, and I'm like, all right, just be jamming in my own head.
I
Thank
would
you,
hate to have
Kendra.
a hidden camera in my
Oh
house,
God.
because people would have a hell of a. Anyway, I started to tell you how I found out. I had shoulder surgery and I fell down and I broke my right arm while I had this one in a sling.
Oh my.
And it just kind of like hurt right across this bone
Mm.
here, but it just fractured it. It didn't break it in half, it just broke it, but it didn't separate. And so about 6 weeks when I went back for my shoulder surgery, I was telling him, I said, this arm really hurts through here. I don't know what I did to it. So he x-rayed it and he goes, no wonder you broke it 6 weeks ago. And I'm going,
Oh my
oh,
God. Oh
yeah.
well.
So he said there was nothing he could do because it was already healed.
Healed, yeah.
Yeah, it
Mm.
was already healing.
Well,
So, but
sometimes
But
the
he put into my charts that if I ever call in for pain medication, I am not to be given a hard time.
right, because you need it. You're actually in pain if you're
Because I don't ask for it.
right. Well, and nowadays, if you do, they just look at you like you're a junkie, that you're med seeking,
Yeah,
and
that's the
things like
problem.
that. Yeah. And I mean, I worked in the ER and I had those experiences where you had the people that were literally just med seeking, and you find out they're hopping from hospital to hospital to get as many pain prescriptions as they can.
Hey, I want to tell Julianne. Hey, Julianne, I was listening to Gigi reading for you, and I was reading all your notes. And you sound like you're finally reached the stage to how bad I got before they did my back surgery. I
Mm,
think you're very close. I think and since Medicaid and Medicare isn't going to be affected until 2026 or 27, they just want to make Dems look bad. So they delayed the results. So everybody who has Medicaid is supposed to be keeping it unless he changes his freaking mind. You know how
and
that
I hope
goes.
you don't, because I'm someone that relies, on,
Well, you know how many seniors depend on
yeah,
Medicaid? A lot of seniors depend on Medicaid.
my
Do you know
mom
how many
does.
convalescent homes are going to have to shut down? The only way
Oh
my
yeah,
daughter, yeah, the only way we were able to keep my daughter in a convalescent home, because that's where they keep
yeah,
severely ill people for recoveries from her
yeah.
surgery. It was kind of hard to put her in the truck with me, but anyhow, um, when it was Medicaid and Medicare that paid for all of her medical.
Right.
And if they took and cut all these seniors who live in convalescent homes, a lot of them have SS, or they have Medicaid along with their Medicare.
Right.
And our hospital, I'm really nervous because I live in a rural area, and
Yeah.
we have one of the best hospital systems here because we're connected to the University of Michigan
Hmm.
out of Ann Arbor, which is known as U of M. So I'm not really worried that if that they could, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Julie,
might
is your
I might just
right hip
I might
worse?
shut everything down and come live with you guys, eh? Travel the country. I'll
Yeah.
stay in somebody's driveway one week, stay in somebody else's driveway another week.
Well, like I was telling you earlier, like I'm thankful, like, because I've been fighting for disability like 6.5 years now, and
Oh,
if it wasn't for my mom owning this house,
yeah.
I'd be homeless. I mean, there's just I'm
Well, in
thankful.
our younger days, I'm sure most of us along here, not all of us, but I'm sure there was a few of us
Oh, I've been homeless
that
before.
have, slept in a car a few
Oh yeah,
because, couldn't afford the rent.
I've
I don't know how they do it nowadays.
yeah.
Where's that? My daughter, what? I can't hide this stupid buttons. My daughter on, SSDI. Yeah, Social Security Disability.
Yeah.
I will get, I don't want disability. I want my hips done.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I was, Julianne. Then after I got everything fixed, but you have to have an income during your recovery. Um, that's where my friend Nancy come in. She just shut her house down and come moved in with me. She
Yeah.
only lived 3 miles from me, but we like to sit at night and smoke pot and binge watch TV. So she'd just stay with me. Can you? My grandson, he was only like 25, 26 at the time. He lived here too. He was in the attic. I kept him up there, good place. And Nancy, she slept in the living room, and then I had my bedroom because I only have a one-bedroom house.
Right.
Yeah, but it was funny because here this young guy, and he never smoked pot. He didn't drink very much. Here's two old ladies sitting there getting stoned, watching TV and eating junk food.
Hey,
Oh
that
yeah,
sounds amazing to me.
I love that. Lived in my truck when I drove cross country. I'm getting that bug because I drove truck for 23 years, and when you live in a semi, and you live in a semi, you just
Hmm.
don't. You know, I made the mistake for decades. I always wanted to work from home. I want to work from home. I want to work from home. Well, little did I know, I did work from home, but it just traveled down the highway every day.
It was a mobile home.
It was. I had a refrigerator. I had a microwave, crock pot, coffee pot, brewing all the time. Um, uh, we had internet,
Hey,
flat, flat screen TV, double bed. Hell, I figured if I was going to run down the highway and be on the highway for months at a time, I wanted my comforts because I didn't like staying in motels.
right. Well, my mom said, growing up, because her dad was a truck driver, and sometimes they didn't stay in one place very long. Her and my grandma got to where they could box up the whole house and real quick, and then have it and get it unpacked real quick. They got it down.
You see this? Jag says, I'm going to request to go to a rehab for 2 weeks so they can wipe my
Hey, I
arse.
don't blame you.
I don't know. We'll have to see what this year all kinds of truck
Yeah.
driving. And the other thing about well, see, when I drove truck, there were so many times it saved my tail being intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I missed head-on collisions. I
Oh
missed a
man.
lot of, yeah. Something would just say, take a break. you need to stop. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I would it just and I stayed safe those years.
Before you start seeing the black dog.
I seen the black dog one time when I was working for a trucking company, and they forced you to run illegal.
Oh yeah.
That was before the days of electronic logs. That's why they truckers and trucking companies, it's their own fault. Where was
I
my favorite place to drive through? Oh, God, there's several. Um, U.S. highway through the Colorado Rockies.
ooh.
A 2-lane going up with no guardrail with a
Oh my
12,000-foot drop, hauling a hazmat load. It was
oh,
the end of May. I had a tank top on, shorts, and flip flops. And my co-driver was freaking out the entire time. He was supposed to be in the bunk. Then he'd come up and he'd sit in the seat, and then he would and he'd go, "How you doing? How you doing?" "I'm fine. I'm doing just fine, just driving along." And then an oil tanker or gas tanker comes by. "Are you gonna miss it?" Then I looked at him. I said, "Would you like me to stop and you drive?" "No, no, you're doing fine. You're doing fine." I said, "Well, go back in the bunk and just close your eyes."
I
You
think
know?
my yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. And that's what I mean. That's what it was like for a lot of years for me. I do, and I really, well, I know exactly the second time why I went back on the road. The first time was after my divorce, my last divorce. I've had three. He was my last divorce. Yes, the West and Southwest, especially I love going through Arizona, Yuma. I want to retire. I want to go to New Mexico. I don't know if I want to stay there all year round or just partial. Anyway, um, what was I talking about?
Um, now I don't remember.
About driving through the mountains. Colorado is beautiful, especially when you go down 70, down through the gully down there, and you got the river and all this stuff. Oh, it's just, yeah. And going through Texas, I-35 and I-30, where they interchange and 35 goes south, or is it 20? No, I think it's 35. Yeah, it's 35 going south and 30 going east west. And the ramp goes around and it looks like you're flying through the air in a
Oh my
semi,
god.
because you don't see, because you're way above all the guardrails and all that shit. And
Right.
you just cruise it along, and it's really awesome feeling. No, I would never go back to trucking. So don't even ask the question. No, don't ever go back.
I think my papa said he never saw the black dog, but he did think he saw a man running naked at the same speed he was going, and then he's like, "I'm gonna pull over and take a nap."
Yes, flag going down Flagstaff with a heavy load with air Jake brake going. Yep.
My husband up there, he said he'd rather self medicate than take pills. Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I smoke pot, and it's not even him right now.
yeah. We try to keep him. That's his medicine. You know.
In Maine, they changed that you had to be 25 to haul hazmat. They grandfathered me in because I was already hauling it up. See, and I hauled a lot of pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh,
So I ran a lot of team. In order to haul high dollar loads, they always run two people in a truck.
that makes sense though.
Yeah, it's for safety reasons.
Safety. Yeah.
Yeah, going down into Nova Scotia, I used to have to go all the way to northern Maine to get over. It's only
Oh wow.
crossover. Yeah,
Yeah.
then you got to come all the way back down through Canada. Those drugs don't really call you, period, during those trips. Oh,
Oh,
dispatch don't call
periodically.
you? Periodically.
Like when you're hauling it to make
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They're tracking us, and we have installed in our trucks. We had direct contact with the DEA.
Oh,
We had buttons that if we ever got hijacked,
yeah.
all we had to do was push this button, and within a short period of time, we would have been.
Wow.
We got paid good.
But I mean, I'm glad they have that. Something had to go wrong at some point in order for that
Yes,
to
Julianne.
happen.
Julianne wants to know first the last
Oh,
question. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I just got tired of sitting in my corner.
My uncle saw the black dog once on a long haul. I don't know if you heard. Denise said she saw the
Black
black
dog.
dog
It was
before.
up in Wisconsin. I remember where the hell it was. I mean, that's how
Oh yeah,
vivid it
you
is.
definitely remember something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I think it was trees, black trees, and this big black dog was out in front of the truck. Shit, and I went, oh well. She's hauled bomb missiles, and we had them. Ah,
Ooh,
Juliet, will I be traveling to the San Francisco Bay in the next 3 months? Does this have to do with the theory of eight? Wow, I agree with damn Teresa.
right. I can't imagine hauling bombs and missiles. Oh, you miss it. You were tatting your fingers. Okay. I'll be looking at your fingers when I get off of here.
Please turn into the trucking channel. Yeah, Teresa.
The
You know, the other
next,
thing I noticed about psychics is a lot of us are writers, newspaper writers, because I did that after I retired at home. An ex knew somebody who owned a newspaper and needed a writer, so sure, why not? I'd try anything just about.
I'm, I was, uh, I wrote a poem for a book when I was in high school. That's so I have been published, but my roommate is trucker and my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, like my stepdad is a trucker, my grandpa was, my brother, so cousins, like I've had a lot of people in my family that were truck drivers. So, uh is are you wanting to answer this for Jags or do you want me
Let me
to
see. Will I
or
be traveling to the side? No, you can, because I don't want to look down.
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
get that.
that's the other reason, you guys, is I've done. What did I say? This is what I did four
I
or
think you
five.
said you did 5
Yeah, this is my fifth show for the week.
or this is 6, I think. Maybe. I think you
No,
said you normally do 4 but you've done 5. I can't.
yeah, this is total five.
Oh,
So
okay.
any, um, so it's just looking down and it inflamed my disc.
In the next 3 months. Okay. I am getting a yes. Are you wanting to know a specific month
Theory of
or
eight. She wants to know about the theory. Does this have to do with the
the
theory of
theory
eight?
of 8? Unknown at this time or not meant to know right now. So let me see. You need an an ergonomic setup. Let's see. So, July, August, September. It's looking more along September. Does it have to do with one of your books? Yes. A big yes on that one. And I feel like September is a big month or an important month when something happens. September, October, along that time frame. It's so funny how we all have like a trucking connection though. You're welcome. Thank you, Jags. I appreciate your questions. I am working on second screen. I have it hanging out. It just needs hardwiring. I need to call GS for help.
Grandson.
Oh, grandson. I was like, oh.
He had me hooked up that way before, and I really loved it.
mm. Oh, owned his own trunking. Trunking. I can't even talk. Trunking. What the heck is trunking?
He owned his own trucking company. Oh yeah. You know, it's a funny story. My daughter was adopted by the people with the last name of Martin, Martin. And when she told me when she was a little girl and they'd do traveling and stuff, she'd see these trucks with the name Martin on them. She thought her mom and dad owned a trucking company. Isn't it adorable what children can come up with?
Well, my grandparents, their last name was Turney. And when my mom would go over to my aunt and uncle's, and my cousin would ask where I was at, and she would say, oh, she's at the Turney's. And my cousin was like, why is she having to spend so much time at a lawyer's office?
Oh, that's so cute.
I was trying to figure that out too.
Oh my gosh, I figure
Words be hard, abbreviations. My grandmother worked was as a secretary. My
wow, that's
grandfather
so cool.
wasn't a lawyer, but he did own his own real estate company. So, and he grew up poor. I think there was 10 or 12 of them growing up.
I'll be back. You guys are more than welcome to stay. I'll be right back. I gotta go get another ice
Another
thing.
ice thing, yeah.
Yeah. Ay, ay, ay.
Uh, Jags, does your right hip hurt worse than your left, or is it about even? Because earlier I kind of got a pain in my right hip. I hurt looking at that.
What? You need more food?
I'm constantly having to turn or resituate myself because I have sciatica issues and like my legs will go numb. So if you see me constantly shifting, yeah, I feel like I don't know. Denise was talking when I asked if it was your right earlier because I mean I got a sharp pain through my right hip area and I was like, ooh, that don't feel like that belongs to me though. So they are both bad. Yeah, my husband really has a hard time with his hips as well. I think it's his right, if he's still in here. I know he has more trouble with one than the other as well, so I don't know if he's still in here or not. I am dizzy because I'm constantly, yeah. And do you get like to the dizzy part, like you get hot and you feel like you're going to pass out sometimes? Because I've had that happen to me.
Oh, let me
Feel like
grab.
you're having an out of body experience sometimes. Mostly you're right. Yeah. I thought that was uh, the case. I do good to keep up with myself sometimes. But I know my husband, Pumbaa Dan. Oops, I about knocked my laptop over. I'm just going to throw everything.
Well, that wouldn't be good.
No, not hot. When I was having my female issues before I had the hysterectomy, I would get like really hot and feel like I was going to pass out. And I know one time I think I did pass out I was coming out of the bathroom and passed out right there in the doorway. So it's not a good feeling. You're off balance. You saw yourself sleeping last. Ooh. What is
Ooh,
that?
that's weird.
Isn't that like sleep paralysis?
That's like when your soul leaves your
Oh,
body.
astral projecting.
Yeah. And
That's a weird feeling to see yourself sleeping.
I've been having more vivid dreams for a long time. I stopped remembering my dreams. I don't know why, I just did.
Yeah.
But recently I started remembering my dreams. I've been practicing to try and remember them. Uh,
Well, before I met my husband, um, we've been together about 11 years now, but I had a dream. I couldn't see his face in the dream, but he was sitting next to my grandma on a train, and my grandma had already been passed, you know, had
uh-huh.
already passed away. But for whatever reason, my grandma brought him to me on a train, and that's how because he lived in Illinois when we got together. He grew up and lived in Illinois. I was in Oklahoma, so that's how he came, is by train. And I remember telling him, I knew you were coming. I just couldn't see your face. Oh, okay. Another question. Great. I love the questions.
I do too, and I like that on our channel we don't get a lot of political. We get a few, that's just
Yeah.
fine. But we get more personal or psychic stuff, and I prefer
Yeah.
it.
I
The other
prefer
the other is just too stressful for me. That's part of why my neck is
so
because
tense too. Yeah.
I'm worried about the people who can't that are on Medicaid and depending on food vouchers and rent
Right.
vouchers, and I'm worried about the people like that. Um, I could survive on eating dirt if I have to.
Yeah. I mean, we'll figure things out.
We'll make
But
mud patties and put some garlic powder on it, and
season them up real good.
yeah, put some
It's
chocolate raisins in there.
Is something going to come up this week that has to do with my mother? I'm getting a yes here for that.
I'll be
Okay. Um so is this something that you're expecting, or um already, or but I feel like something extra is going to happen along with it, if that makes any kind of sense, like a surprise. You've been seeing the lady again too. Ooh, I forget about the lady. I know you've told me about it before, but I don't remember it very well. But I'll talk to you about that later if you want. No. Okay. Is something going to come up this week that has to do with my mother? Hmm. Eat the cereal that's stale in the back. Yeah, we'll be eating out of cans, hobo dinners, that sort of thing. No. So is is it around her health? I'm feeling like heart, um, and fluid, almost like a lot of fluid here in my chest. Heart, lungs, perhaps getting like pains, like in the upper part of the back. I'm not necessarily getting a death, but it is something, that needs to be taken care of. Um, she was diagnosed with colon cancer a few years ago. Okay. So hopefully, the hasn't spread or anything, but I was feeling more like heart, the lungs, and a lot of like fluid build up. And I don't know if it's her or if it's someone else, but I'm experiencing like a pretty sharp pain in between my shoulder blades. I have had people that are on the other side when I've been reading, and the clients being difficult. I'm like, no, no, that's. And then the person on the other side gets frustrated and sends me their death pains. So I don't feel like this is that. I don't feel like it's someone's death pains, but because it doesn't feel like when I've experienced that before. But I feel like the lungs are maybe fluid needs to be drained. Of course, I'm not a medical professional or anything like that, so I a lifelong smoker. So, something to do with the lungs and the heart here, um, is what I feel. So, um, is she prone to like bronchitis or pneumonia or anything like that? Oh, well, let me look real quick, Teresa. I get really confused on some of these apps and everything. So, but I will check real quick. Let me see. Thank you so much, Jags and Teresa. Yes, I did get it. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate you so much, and I'm very grateful and thankful for Denise. For letting me be on, and It's amazing and wonderful to be able to connect with you guys one on one. I'll throw up my email as well if anyone wants to get a hold of me that way. Um, Please feel free to. She has wheezed and coughed from smoking, so yeah, I feel like that there is fluid like around her heart, around her lungs. I want to keep her on here with me on set. Oh my goodness. I love you, Denise. And my husband was like, I think he caught like the last 20 minutes last night, and he was like, I love her. So, thank you both so much. I keep smelling pancakes. Oh my gosh. Pancakes. Chocolate chip pancakes sound amazing right now too. At least it's a good smell. I mean, there are definitely worse things you could be smelling. My mom just might be getting worse. We are estranged. Um, and that's hard. You know, I feel like that's out of your hands at this point too. Um, I feel like there's a really stubborn energy, and maybe you both are a bit stubborn, but I feel like you're protecting yourself, and I want to say like maybe she's deflecting, if that's the right word. Thank you, Kendra. I appreciate that. I really love Denise, and I really love her energy, and um, it's amazing. I feel like she is getting worse, and maybe not being as proactive on her own behalf, like tired, tired and ready, maybe, you know. Um, like I said, I don't necessarily feel like it's death yet. Of course, I don't ask about death either, but if I did have any kind of feeling, I would tell you, but I don't think it's that bad. But also, if she doesn't take care of it, then it could be. Yeah, well, there are just some things that you can't reconcile from, and I think that's going to be something she regrets in the end. But, she had done the things in the way that needed to be done, then wouldn't be where you're at, or where you're both at, if that makes any kind of sense. My mom gave up near the end and stopped doing the things she needed to do. Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe that's where she is at. I have forgiven her. I can't make her be nice. No, and I mean, and it's like she should want to be nice to you, I mean, um, but I'm glad you forgave her. That's forgiving her in turn. That releases you from having to carry that burden. Uh, yeah, it's her loss, and I mean, so yeah, like Denise is saying, sometimes we have to forgive people, even if we don't let them back in. For our own peace of mind, for our own sanity, and because when we hold on to unforgiveness, a root of bitterness can grow, and I'd rather be better than bitter any day of the week. And some things are harder to forgive than others too. So I mean, too, but it takes time, and sometimes it comes in waves. Forgiveness is for ourselves, yes, for ourselves and not for the other person, absolutely. And you know, I think she will end up regretting it, but I also don't think she's going to try to do anything about it, which in and of itself is sad, but then, you do have a lot of people that when they're on their deathbed, that's when they want to make apologies, when they want that atonement, and, when they know they're about to die. Oh no, she's a narcissist. She's going to her grave with a set. Oh yeah, she's painting herself as the victim. And I mean, whew. But you finding your peace and loving yourself, uh anyway, I think once she gets on the other side, she's going to have to work out that forgiveness uh on the other side. I had crappy parents, finally forgave them at 60. I'm a slow learner. Hey, um, healing is can be weird and can be complicated, and there are some things that take longer than others. For me, things come up in layers, and I work with them as they came up. Yay, and I'm a free medium. We have rules around here in my energy. Yeah. Um, I had an uncle that passed, and when he passed, he was really angry at the family, and he had to work that out on the other side. And for a long time, I had to block him from being able to come through. So until he worked through what he needed to work through, which was really weird, a really weird experience. So, but yeah, definitely strong, healthy boundaries in place, even with though it's always the dead family members that want to talk to me, not the living ones. Yeah. Well, when I open and do any kind of work, and I can get overwhelmed and I can get dizzy because, sometimes you'll have a spirit like, I've been trying to talk to people for years and years, and nobody's been, and then a whole bunch of them, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, one at a time. And trying to figure out sometimes what message is for what person, or if this is even relevant to what we're talking about, but sometimes they're kind of like Ghost, when Whoopi Goldberg and people were just jumping in and out of her body. I kind of feel like that sometimes. At least none of them are singing "I'm Henry the Eighth I Am" and keeping me up all night. So the living ones ghost you, and then the ghosts are like, "Hey, yo, girl, here I am." Yeah. Living ones don't want to give you the time of day, but oh, is Julie doing next Saturday? Oh, with us. Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited. I have I haven't seen Julie yet either, but I like her energy so far, what I can feel. So I'm pretty excited about that. Ooh, a 2x4. Ooh, no, no, nay, nay. Did I answer all the questions that were up there? I hope I didn't miss any. I really try to pay attention, but I'm kind of like a squirrel with a shiny. I get distracted really easy. Never 1x1 is less painful. Oh, yeah, no 2x4s. Thank you, Teresa. I really appreciate that. I hope I got to everybody, and thank you so much. Like, um, I'm ready to go if everyone else is ready for me to go. If not, if there are any more questions anyone else would like to ask before, I think I did. But if anyone has, if you want to get one in,
Okay, stay on after we go off, okay?
all right. I didn't last night. I was out of here.
We were all so tired last
We
night. I
were.
kept yawning and yawning, and
Pancakes
now
are
tonight,
calling you.
and
Eat
then I
some
got
for
this.
me. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you guys so much. I
Thank
really
you.
do love and enjoy doing this. And thank you guys so much for pouring into me. You know, things can be tough when
When you're struggling,
everybody knows, yeah, when you're struggling, exactly. And I do personal private readings for people, so if you ever want one, just hit me up. I put my email in the chat, or you can get it from Denise, or
make
I'm
sure you
pretty,
have make sure you have in your YouTube channel
I think
and
I
your
do.
Facebook channel both of those was it PayPal
I
and
didn't have my
Cash App.
PayPal, but I'll put my PayPal. I have Venmo
Yeah,
too, but people don't seem to use that one as much as they
I
did
don't
at one
either. No, I
time.
use PayPal or
Or Cash
um,
App is what
Cash
I
App.
use.
Those
Yeah,
are the two
that's
I use.
those are the two I use as well. Oh, is my email here? Let me see. I'll type it out. Oh,
Well, we'll get you in shape, Julianne. And I hope you guys don't mind me and my ice packs tonight. Oh my God. It's like all the way up to here, down through here, down to
up
this
into
collarbone.
your up into your head and neck,
Yeah.
even.
But it's not in my skull. It's like here and into this collarbone and like here. And
Hmm.
I've dealt with it for years. I know Xanax, aspirin, and ice packs. And don't watch the news.
Yeah, and don't let don't let yourself get stressed out. But I
No,
mean,
come on here and get goofy. I
yeah.
love doing this. It took me forever to get brave enough to do it. You know, but I always wanted to. You know, I'm that type of person. I always want to try stuff.
I do
Um,
too. Like I'm pretty flexible, pretty good with the flow. Um, my granddad always called me the boss and the TV star. So I mean, I think he set me up for big success that way. Plus, I'm a Leo. We like to
oh,
entertain.
center of the party. All right, love you guys, and thank you
Love
so
you
much for
guys.
the gifts for Gigi because
Thank
we
you
want
so
her
much.
working with us.
Yeah, I really appreciate each and every single one of you. Sending
I
you
love
guys
the money, but she needs the money.
some
I
extra
don't.
love light.
I'm okay. Ouch! There, I just ran over my toe now.
Oh man.
I
Mm.
better get off here.
You're like liar liar. You're kicking your own butt.
Bye, y'all.
Bye guys. Thank you so much.
Subscribe, it's free. Highlight the bell to get notifications and thumbs up. Make comments on replay. I want you to have love, light, and laughter in your life every day. Because if you love and shine light on it, it brings laughter into your life.
Yeehaw!